Alright, before you close this lesson, it is essential that I teach you some of the guidelines of Facebook advertising. So let's go over the things that can get you blocked on Facebook. What do you think you need to do to get blocked on Facebook? Actually, not a lot. And remember, what I'm about to share with you not only applies to maintaining an Ads Manager account, but also when you begin to work with your advertising. Please note that if you're confused about anything that I say to you here, you can refer to the advertising guide. In that guide, you can find everything that I will cover right now. I will place a link to that guide in this course, and you will be able to read for yourself what you shouldn't advertise and what topics/niches are out of bounds for Facebook. Through my agency, I've experienced some minor mishaps over the years. Right now, I will share some of my agency's experiences with you. I know I mentioned that there are advertising guidelines that you should look up to avoid being blocked. With that being said, I have some additional information that can be adopted into your strategy that is not written in the Facebook manual. Let's start with the reasons Facebook will block you. What causes Facebook to block a user most often? The thing that will absolutely get you blocked the most on Facebook is advertising something that is completely forbidden. Facebook has a complete list of what you can't advertise. Let me give you a list of things that are not allowed to be advertised on Facebook. Hookahs and vapes are not allowed to be advertised on Facebook. Medicines are also not allowed to be advertised on Facebook. Be careful because this also includes dietary supplements. Any kind of product that is strictly for adults is forbidden on Facebook. Personal characteristics are also prohibited. In other words, you cannot say that someone is bankrupt. A lot of the time, this is the point where my students get confused. You must understand that sometimes you will see stuff in a feed that violates the rules of Facebook. Most often this is done by specialists who are engaged in gray area niches, or in other words, their niches are not entirely legal. In some cases, they will be flat out illegal. Sooner or later, Facebook will find them, and trust me, they will be banned anyway, no matter how good they are at hiding what they do. Now I want to shift the context to official businesses. Therefore, if we're talking about an official business, or in other words, a business that can be advertised, you must remember that they too can violate the rules of Facebook. It's not uncommon for legitimate businesses to post ads that have violated Facebook guidelines. But just like the shady businesses I mentioned earlier, these accounts will also be banned for not following the rules. If we are talking in the context of medicine, as I mentioned earlier, this content will be banned. Medicine cannot be promoted with the exception of several states within America. We've had a client who sold medicine. We launched an advertising campaign for the client, but only in the select states where it was allowed. Okay, in this slide, I will address another common problem that advertisers will face. I'm talking about complaints about advertising. If you run an advertisement and a lot of people complain about it, you'll be in hot water. For example, a reason for a large number of complaints against your ad could be that it is politically related. Another example might be if something is deemed offensive by a large group of people. Any of the examples I just mentioned will get you blocked. Next is when your site or landing page does not function where you lead your audience. This is all monitored using the Facebook Pixel, which you added to your site earlier. And if that doesn't work, then you are in real trouble. You will get blocked because you are violating Facebook's policy by sending people to a broken site. Before and after ads related to health are not allowed. You also cannot show before and after ads that have to do with appearance. Let me give you some examples so you understand what I mean. I'm going to give you a commercial example. Let's say that in this commercial, a person is driving a car. While driving this car, they scratch the bumper. So the person then goes and buys a special pencil that will cover the scratches. In the advertisement, there is a before and after picture. One shows the car with the scratch and one shows the car after the pencil has been applied. But when it comes to health and appearance, this is not allowed. You cannot show a snowy white smile and then show a picture of someone with black, terrible teeth. Facebook will simply not let that happen. It is also impossible to show a picture of someone who was fat, then became thin. Facebook deems this not appropriate, and you will be banned if something like this is posted. So why does Facebook have all of these rules regarding before and after photos and things to do with health and appearance? Let me explain. Imagine that I am an obese person and that I am also a frequent Facebook user. I start to flip through my Facebook feed and all I see are advertisements about how so-and-so lost weight. So now I feel bad about myself and I think I'm a loser. And then I take it a step further and I think about ways to harm myself. Facebook does not want this type of thing to happen to people. Here, Facebook is trying to absolve itself of any responsibility regarding these issues. Facebook prohibits this kind of advertising. Showing before and afters of walls and cars being painted or something of that nature is fine. But appearance and health advertisements will be banned. On this slide, I will cover some other things that can get you blocked. One of the big ones is loans and credit advertising. You can absolutely not include things like this in advertising. You also can't advertise automatic videos with loud music that pop up out of nowhere. Facebook knows that having a lot of these types of ads will cause dissatisfaction among its users. I bet you've encountered something like this before. A discrepancy between the advertising material and what you actually have on your site can also be a problem. Advertising leading to banned website or website under construction or to an error page can also be an issue. If you try to advertise it, you will be blocked too. And of course, this is a low page quality setting. In this next lecture, we will be discussing page quality. There is a section called page quality. If you have a lot of comments within your page quality section, then you will of course be blocked. Next is advertising management from another country. It is very important that when you are working with advertising in another country, Facebook understands that you are indeed in that country. Facebook will track your geolocation to make sure that you are really from the country you say you are from. If you did not perform these actions, you will most likely be blocked. However, you can be ultimately unblocked if you're able to prove that you are who you are and not someone else. Further, this is a violation of the advertising activity rules. When a user systematically violates the rules and advertises something that is prohibited on Facebook, it is a serious offense. If you do not pay for advertising campaigns for a long time, you can also get a block. If you do a huge number of new actions on an account completely made from scratch, you can also get a block. Last but not least, there are some situations where you can get blocked by mistake. Unfortunately, this happens quite a lot on Facebook. Facebook is a state-of-the-art social media platform, but even Facebook makes errors. A lot of the time, you will get blocked by mistake. When this happens, Facebook will admit that they made a mistake. That being said, your ad may still be blocked for the next 2 or 3 days. So I just want you to remember that these things tend to happen and don't be shocked if it happens to you. It's easily fixable. All you have to do is contact support. You will then be given the opportunity to discuss why they banned your ad. Just simply state that you did not violate any rules. They will check, and if indeed you did not violate their guidelines, they will unblock you. It is very easy to contact support. There is a special link that you can use to get in touch with them. I will give you this link in our materials section. Just click this link if anything like this happens to you. There are 2 options that will become available to you once you click this link. You can either chat directly with support in your messenger, or you can contact them by email. Again, this link is provided to you in the materials section. Facebook support is available in multiple languages. You should be able to communicate with them without problems and explain the situation. If you are really not to blame and an error has occurred, you will of course be unblocked. There are many more ways to be blocked on Facebook. I just went over the big ones that we come across from time to time. A lot of these types of issues quite frequently happen with my students who very often share their experiences with me.